All right, guys, we are live. I am here with Tony.
Yeah.
And this is for Mike and Tony Tuesdays.
Mike and Tony Tuesday.
Although this is on a Wednesday right now.
Yeah.
First, we're going to be playing Aladdin. We're not going to play the whole game or try to beat the whole game. We're just playing it for a little bit.
I haven't played this since I was like 9, so I don't think I'd be able to beat the whole game today.
Actually, you know what? I want to see you beat the whole game. I'm not going to play it all. Can you also put it on, go to the options and put it on extra hard? It's where the if you touch anything like a snake or a bird, you just die.
All right, let's.
No, that's probably we should put it on easy.
Normal.
Yeah. Okay.
Normal.
Okay.
So we're doing this because Aladdin. Well, not next. Dumbo is next, but Aladdin is the one after Dumbo. Disney's remaking all of their old like cartoons.
Yeah. They are, aren't they?
How do you feel about the new Aladdin movie?
Oh boy, you're gonna ask me that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that you were gonna talk. Let's see. Okay, so my thoughts on the new Aladdin movie. The original Aladdin, like, I liked it a lot. See, I'm more of a fan of like the really old Disney stuff. Like, I like Pinocchio and Peter Pan and you know, Cinderella and stuff like that. I was more a fan of like those movies when like Walt was alive.
Yeah.
Than like the newer like 90s one and so on, whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what? Out of those 90s ones, like I really did like I did like Aladdin.
Yeah.
And I did like Beauty and the Beast. And there was a few of them that I did like. Mm-hmm. The music from Aladdin obviously always gets stuck in my head. Yeah. We did that James and Mike Monday. So Aladdin, basically the point is Aladdin is something that I do like. And I like this game.
Yeah, this game was great. I remember loving it. I liked Aladdin as a kid. It's like probably one of my favorite. I'm not too big on Disney stuff. Like I liked it as a kid, but as I got older, I just stopped caring.
I'm big on Disney stuff, but more so like the old cartoons, like the old Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse cartoons, stuff like that, and especially the comics and all that. So, but as to your question about the new movie, I just wanted to put it out there that I do like the original Aladdin, and I just don't really. I don't know if it's necessary for them to remake 3D versions of those movies because it's like weren't those movies good enough as it was? And my thought as to why they're probably doing it is I feel like there's a generation that grew up with movies like Toy Story, which I also like, by the way. So people are like more used to 3D animation now, and I feel like these movies maybe for some people would be more watchable because they're not 2D animation. But for me, like 2D animation is what I'm all about. I mean, my favorite things like in the world are, you know, the old Looney Tunes cartoons and stuff like that. So like, and I always thought that the Robin Williams, you know, famous song, "You Better Have a Friend Like Me" and all that. If you watch that, that's almost like watching an old like Looney Tunes cartoon. Like that song, he's like going all over the place. His eyes are bugging out of his head and everything.
Well, Looney Tunes was like still kind of popular at that point.
That's true.
Like they were replaying like old commercials. They don't replay any Looney Tunes.
No, no, they don't. But yeah.
But my thing is like why are they remaking like their like Aladdin is an old ass story. Anyone could do Aladdin. We can make an Aladdin movie.
That's true.
It's in public domain. Like.
And there are a lot of older like Aladdin movies.
But like, if Disney wants to make a new Aladdin, why not make a new Aladdin? Why are they just doing the live action version of an Aladdin they already made? And they've been doing this for a while. Have you seen any of the Disney reboots? Like, I guess it started with Alice in Wonderland, but then it went like Cinderella, Maleficent was based on.
Oh, did they do the Alice in Wonderland one? I didn't even realize.
Oh my god, yeah, Tim Burton. They did the first one.
I knew Tim Burton directed it.
Yeah, they made like $1 billion, and then they did the second one, and it like flopped.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that it was Disney though. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the art style of that movie, like I didn't see it. I only saw the trailer, but I thought the art style looked really ugly to me. Yeah, so I didn't want to go see it.
It was nominated for like an Oscar for like best set design.
Well,
and the clip they showed during the Oscars shows that he recycled the tree from Sleepy Hollow. I'm like, how is this best original set design?
I mean, I'm sure like a ton of work like went into it and everything, but I just think it looks kind of like not appealing to me.
It wasn't good. It was at the height of the 3D thing, so that's why I think it did so well.
Right. Okay.
So I've seen that, and it was terrible. I didn't see Cinderella. I hear it's pretty good. Kenneth Branagh did it. He's okay. Jungle Book was good. And the reason I think Jungle Book is good, that's one I really liked as a kid. I think it's because the original Jungle Book, there's not really like a plot to it. It's just kind of just like little vignettes. Oh, damn, I died. It's just like little vignettes that are strung together by songs. So the new Jungle Book actually puts more of a story in. And I thought that was good. But then I saw Beauty and the Beast, and it sucked. It's just the cartoon. There's so little they changed. I'm like, I'm sitting in the theater, I'm like, why the fuck am I watching this?
Right. It's like because you feel like you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
They did a few things. And this is the problem I have with the original. They never explain, like, so that, like, the Beast is like royalty, right?
Mm.
And it's just like, wow,
Right.
you think people would, like, want to know what the fuck happened to, like, their prince and shit? So the movie does this whole thing where, like, the witch casts a spell when the town forgot about him. Like, alright, well, that fixes that plot hole.
Right.
I was kind of mad they killed,
Sorry, I'm just getting this out. Okay.
Sorry. I was kind of mad it kills Gaston again, because I feel bad for Gaston. I like Gaston, alright? I feel like Gaston...
I'm gonna agree with you.
Yeah, I feel like he gets a bad rap. Like, based on the information he had, he doesn't know to trust the Beast. He doesn't know what the Beast's deal is.
So I want to talk a little about that, not to go too off topic of Aladdin, but so Gaston. Let's talk. So in if you watch Beauty and the Beast, the cartoon, like I didn't see the live action one, so I'm only talking about the animated one. So the father, Belle's father, goes to the castle.
Yeah.
And he's being chased by wolves.
Yeah.
And thank you, Bin Led, for subbing, by the way. And sorry, I'm not talking to the chat too much. I'm trying to tell this story right now. So this old man is being chased by wolves through a forest.
Yeah.
He comes, then I think something happens to his horse. He's going on foot, and he ends up at this castle. And like he goes into it, and he's like, hello, can someone help me or whatever, all this stuff. And then the Beast comes out, and he's like, he takes him and he throws him into like a fucking dungeon or something. So number one, that's really shitty, and like that's like something that like an evil villain would do, like Jafar or something like that. And I know they're trying to establish at the beginning like he's got problems because of the things that happened to him and all that, but it's kind of like, okay, well that, I feel like that right there is worse than anything. Like Gaston, I don't think did anything like that to the father.
Yeah.
Then
the new movie, they kind of make him more of an asshole to justify it. But that cartoon, by the way, he's the only one in that town who likes Belle. Yeah. Everyone shits on Belle.
Right.
And he's like the only one who's kind of into her. Like.
Right. And so like, sure, Gaston does things that are shitty too.
Yeah.
But why? If the Beast is doing a lot of things that are shitty, why does he get a pass and Gaston doesn't? Also, the Beast, why the fuck is she attracted to? He's a fucking beast. You think, if anything, if there's gonna basically, if there's two guys that are assholes, you got the Beast, he's an asshole. You got Gaston, he's an asshole. Why wouldn't you pick like the fucking buff like human being?
Hey, you know what? I'm kind of mad. I thought the new movie would address that the witch who puts the spell on him is kind of a dick. Like, the kid, like, kicked the witch out of the party, and it's like, that's just being a good kid. Like, hey, don't let strangers in your house.
Wait, I'm sorry, what witch?
The witch that cast the spell on him. The enchantress that made him the Beast.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
And I'm like, what's her fucking deal? Why is she trying to go to a kid's birthday party to begin with? And then she, like, curses the kid, and then all his staff and everything. It's like, what the fuck?
So another thing about like Disney and making these movies, so they're remaking things like The Lion King and Aladdin and Snow White and Cinderella and all this stuff. So most of these things are taken from old fairy tales.
Yeah.
And there are other old fairy tales that they have not made movies about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like Hansel and Gretel or like whatever the fuck.
Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter. That's not Disney though.
But there's other stories out there.
Yeah.
Instead of just practically shot for shot like remaking like The Lion King. Go watch the Lion King trailer if you haven't seen it. It looks practically like at least from the trailer, it just looks like you're watching the fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
So it's like, why, instead of doing that, how about do something a little bit more original and make a new fairy tale?
Well, like Frozen is based off a fairy tale, and that did really well.
Yeah, I didn't know the one that's based off of.
Frozen is based off a son of a bitch.
Does anyone know what Frozen's based off of in the chat? I
think that is a story. That was like a Norse story.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
So they have some luck there. Tangled was based off,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So
No, but what I'm saying is, yes, they've done like animated, like Tangled.
Yeah.
But why with these 3D animated movies do they have to just remake Aladdin? It's like make a different movie.
Here's my this is a theory I read. I don't know how true it is, but from what I can tell, Disney used to make a lot of their money from ESPN. They used to own ESPN, the sports stuff. And they made a ton of money from that, but like in recent years, like that money's starting to dry up because there's so many different streaming stuff now. So like the theory is the reason that they're buying so many franchises like Star Wars, Marvel, and why they're like
hidden Mickey ears.
the Mickey ears. And the reason that they're like remaking all their old movies is to like make up for like the money that they lost since ESPN like went under. So that's like a theory for why, because like why are they doing this?
Right.
Once in a while they would make like a live action thing,
Right.
But they've really upped it over the last years. I think it's to make up. For
They're trying to meet their quota or whatever.
Yeah, kind of like that. So I feel like
Yeah.
that's the reason they bought Star Wars and they're pumping out Star Wars.
I
Like, son of a bitch. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, I don't play too many 2D side scrollers these days.
That's all right. Well, that's why we're doing this. You're getting me to play more PS1 games, and I'm getting you to play some more side scrollers or whatever. Sure.
So that's my theory why they're doing all this stuff, like buying franchise and whatnot.
Okay.
Buying Fox. They just bought Fox.
By the way, somebody said the story was the Snow Queen.
Yeah. I knew it was something.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lion King, it's a whole new cast, Mike, except James Earl Jones.
Oh, he's in it?
And here's a theory I have.
Okay.
Because James Earl Jones, they also brought him back for Rogue One. They brought him back for Star Wars Rebels. And they're bringing him back for Lion King. I think Disney is trying to get as much of James Earl Jones' voice recorded as possible.
Right.
So long after he's dead, they can pump out Darth Vader shit forever. I mean, they could get a voice actor.
Because they could get like an approval from the estate to use it for whatever.
Which you know what? They probably already have, because like George Lucas owned all of that stuff.
Right.
Like he owned like Harrison Ford's image and likeness for the character, and Disney now owns that.
Why don't they just get him to read like the alphabet? I mean,
which he did on Sesame Street.
I meant to say the dictionary. The alphabet too, though.
Yeah. But I feel like they just want as much recording of James Earl Jones as possible, so they can just hire James to read the dictionary, just so they can do Darth Vader forever.
Yeah.
I mean, they would still need a voice actor for some of it, but if they could just be like, "Hey, we have so much,"
we still have James Earl Jones.
It's gonna be like.
That's so bad.
Did you ever see the South Park episode after Isaac Hayes left and they killed off Chef?
I didn't.
Oh my god! So Isaac Hayes left the show.
Okay.
And they wanted to kill off his character, so they brought his character back, but all the dialogue in the episode was from previous episodes, and they stitched it together poorly. It's like, "Hello, children. I'm Chef."
yeah. That's funny. That's a good show.
So I think that's why they just want as much recording of James Earl Jones. That's my conspiracy theory.
It makes sense.
I will say Lion King is directed by the guy who did Jungle Book. Jon Favreau, the guy who did Iron Man and shit.
Okay.
So it might be good. Like, I think Jungle Book worked because the original one, there wasn't that much of a story. I mean, there is a Jungle Book story, but the original Disney movie was just kind of like whatever. But like Lion King, it just looks like they're going to tell the same story again. It's like, why? Why am I watching this? Just re-release Lion King.
You know what? The other thing, like, I didn't realize because I haven't like really seen these movies. They're also redoing the songs. So for the Aladdin one with like Will Smith, and I want to point out, like, I like Will Smith.
Yeah.
But like, they're just like they're redoing the songs and shit, and it's like, well, those songs were made for that Disney version of Aladdin. It's like, make new, like, either first of all, don't just remake the same movie, but if you're gonna like just make it different enough, and then make new songs. And I guess there's gonna be some like new original songs, but it's like they're gonna reuse like all the classic songs. It's just like kind of like, what the fuck is the point? Just like go watch the original movie.
I mean, the one new thing I saw in the trailer that I'm excited for is it looks like Iago turns into a giant at one point, and I know, like, you know this. I have a very good parrot friend.
Yeah, that's true.
When I was living with my girlfriend's family, they have a parrot. Like Jeannie has his own outhouse. Called Bubba, and this fucking parrot like loves me to the point where the house hated me because he was meaner to them once I moved in. So I love parrots, and I'm glad like Iago looks like a real parrot in this new one, and I love that he turns into a giant. And I also love Gilbert Gottfried because I worked with Gilbert Gottfried for like a day.
Does anyone know where I'm supposed to go? Fuck! You would think you just go to the right and then there'll be something.
So here's the thing about Iago though, they haven't announced who's doing his voice.
Okay.
But these days, you can get a voice actor like 2 months before the movie comes out. Like, John Goodman was in Transformers 4. He did like the tank dude.
Okay.
He got casted like a month before the movie came out. So they already did the animation and then they hired him. I think my theory is they might be getting Gilbert Gottfried back for it. I know Disney doesn't like to work
it's a surprise for...
I think that might be it. Because why wouldn't they announce who's doing Iago? They announced everything else. And people are wondering, is Iago going to talk? He should talk.
I mean, that might be the other thing. Maybe he's just a bird that doesn't talk.
That'd be weird, though.
Right. Does other animal characters talk in it?
Nah, what is it? Abu doesn't really talk. Yeah, the other ones don't talk. It's just Iago talks because, parrots can talk. Parrots can't talk, by the way. They can imitate you.
Okay, I have no idea what to do. Gotta backtrack and get half the bug. Okay.
Okay.
So we did this for James and Mike Mondays, and I don't remember.
Yeah, I probably should have watched that episode.
Yeah. By the way, I want to point out, so Tony and I are not gonna, the plan of this is not to
There's more Disney stuff over there.
beat the game or anything.
It's goofy.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. We just want to talk about Disney remakes.
Yeah.
While
So we're playing this for a little bit.
I don't know. Is there anything wait, do you remember they made a live-action Jungle Book in the 90s?
Oh, did I just do it, by the way?
I think you did.
Okay, so I can go now, I guess?
I guess. They made a live-action Jungle Book in the 90s, and it was more of like a Tarzan ripoff. But that, there, you gotta get that one.
How do I get that?
I think you just go down.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was an example of them remaking a story they already did, but doing it in a completely different way. It wasn't that great. But, yeah, I wish they could do more shit like that. Tell another Aladdin story, just don't do the one you already did. Maybe borrow some from it.
All right. Oh, so you collect them all. So if we're on the Disney subject, I want to say something. Yeah. So, and they're doing the Star Wars park and all that shit. Oh, damn it. Fucking, I got you far.
I never get that.
So, one of the things, in the same place where they're putting the Star Wars park, it's going into Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
The other big attraction they're bringing, and I don't know if it's there yet or whatever, it's opening soon or something, they're doing a Mickey Mouse ride. And it's the first Mickey Mouse ride ever. They got rid of the Great Movie Ride.
Yeah.
And they're putting in the Mickey Mouse ride.
Yeah.
So, let me just pause this for 1 second. So, I think that's a great idea. Mickey Mouse is their main character. It's the mascot. How could there never be a Mickey Mouse ride? It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, the fact that they're finally doing it, but they're basing the art off of the cartoon that's out right now.
Oh.
And it's you're finally, after 100 years of Mickey or however the fuck long it's been, you're finally making a Mickey Mouse ride, and the art style that they're doing right now, in 5 years it's going to be outdated.
Yeah.
And if they made it after the early the 90s one, that's now outdated.
Yeah.
The Mickey that is never outdated is the original design of Mickey Mouse. It is so stupid because 7-8 years from now that ride's still going to be sitting there, and people are going to be like, oh, this looks like it looks like 2018 or whatever.
Well, here's the thing, they have to keep re-upping Mickey. Disney ruined copyright laws forever. They destroyed copyright laws. So they have to keep redesigning these characters so they can copyright that version of the character. So that's probably why because they're going to pump out merchandise and stuff for it.
But you know what? So they still own the rights to the original versions because they still put out products all the time.
Yeah, but Steamboat Willie, I think, is finally going to be in the public domain soon. Mm-hmm. Finally, unless Disney ruins copyright law again.
Well, this ride is based off of Steamboat Willie and shit. So it's beyond me how they're not doing that.
Yeah.
It bothers me a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you're finally going to do it,
understand.
If you're finally going to do it right.
I think there's like a money reason behind it. Like we have to make it the new version so we can sell merch and stuff.
Fluffy Akita Dog just came up with a good point. They said, but if they use the proper Mickey look, he said if they use the proper Mickey look, it wouldn't suck. so they obviously can't do that. You know what I thought? I read. I thought he said, but if they use the proper Mickey look, it would suck. And I want to throw out this point too. If they did it if they did it with the classic look, they would probably fuck it up anyway. So I feel like you couldn't win. But that said, I go on some of these rides that they do, like the Snow White minecart and stuff like that, and I thought they did a good job, and it looks like how the character should look. Yeah. So maybe they would get it right. Yeah. But anyway, so all right, why don't you play a little bit more? Okay. Like I said, we're not going to play this forever, but yeah, we're going to move on to some other games in a little bit, just so you guys know. Has Mike started singing yet?
Are they gonna? They're probably gonna.
Hey, clear the way in the old bazaar. Hey, you let us through. It's a bright new star. Or am I even on the right song?
I think so.
No, I'm not.
No.
One jump ahead of the bread line, one skip ahead of the sword. I steal only what I can afford.
Oh,
That's everything.
That video.
Okay.
I did a video of me auditioning for Aladdin yesterday.
What's that about?
It's just me in the Aladdin suit, just auditioning, but I'm getting all the lines wrong. I'm making up my own lines. I'm watch out, Jasmine, it's the genie, and I'm talking to people off screen. I'm like, oh, the genie's the good guy. I do Show Me the World, but I don't know it's a song, so I'm like, it's a whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes. I'm like, oh, it's a song.
I like that you said "Show me the world."
Is that?
It's a whole new world.
A whole new world. Oh, he says I can show you the world.
Oh, I can show you the world. Yeah.
I haven't watched Aladdin since the 90s.
You're like, I don't give a shit about this.
I don't give a shit about Aladdin. But yeah, you know what? I just realized, these movies are for people not like me. I have friends who are so obsessed with Disney. It's fine to like Disney, but I have friends where, that's all their movie taste is. It's just the 90s Disney cartoons. It's like, wow, you never progressed it. There's a lot of movies out there.
Yeah. It's, there are different types of Disney people.
Yeah.
There's the people that really like the 90s cartoons, like Little Mermaid and Aladdin and all that kind of stuff.
I never liked Little Mermaid.
That era. There's the people there's the people that like the old animation, but they like the feature film animation, they like Peter Pan and all that kind of stuff. Then there's the people who are really into the comics.
Yeah.
Then there's the people who really just like the old animation. Mm-hmm. Then there's the people who just care about the theme parks. Yeah.
Which I'm more of a Universal Studios.
And I think now we're getting into a generation where there's going to be people that are really just into the live action Disney movies.
Or the Pixar stuff.
Right. So, and why I say this is you will find a lot of times the people who are really into the theme parks might not give a shit about the old Disney movies or something, there's not always crossover.
I kind of agree with that because I really like the dinosaur ride at Disney, but I don't give a shit about the movie Dinosaur by Disney.
I don't even know that movie.
I think that movie kind of sucks.
Okay.
But the ride's fun.
Wait, the dinosaur ride?
Yeah, there was a movie in the 90s or 2000s.
Where's the dinosaur ride?
It's in Animal Kingdom.
Oh, okay. I mean, I know the I'm thinking of the Jurassic Park thing, but that's Universal,
no, that's
isn't it?
Universal.
Yeah. Jeez, I'm trying to remember.
That's a competitor, Mike.
Yeah. You know what the thing is? I don't really like Animal Kingdom, so I don't go there.
The Everest ride is awesome. The roller coaster.
Yeah.
Go for just that.
Yeah, I went on the I went on Expedition Everest.
Yeah.
And it was probably the only thing there that I have liked.
Well, now they have
But I don't want to go to the park if they only have one ride that I like. But I know they have Pandora now, which is supposed to be good. My main problem is nobody gives a shit about Bug's Life, and their main thing in the middle of the fucking park is that goddamn tree, and they got an attraction that's so outdated and shitty. It's like a shit version of Honey.
Is that what that tree is supposed to be?
You know Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and what that is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah.
But the attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what that is in the tree, it's like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids Bugs Life thing, and it sucks and it's outdated.
Yeah.
And I think that they should turn that tree into the gummy bear tree and make it into a fucking gummy bear ride.
I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon.
Because you know why, Tony?
Why?
Because that's not outdated.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Bugs Life.
Yeah.
And I just think
I wasn't a big fan of Bugs Life.
I wish the thing is I wish it was a ride and not like just some stupid Honey, I Shrunk the Kids wannabe piece of crap. So. And my chat's going, gummy bears rule. Fuck the bugs.
Didn't the gummy bears have a weird villain? Wasn't it like a Grim Reaper?
Broom Hatter says, yeah, it's tough to be a bug, needs to fucking go. Yeah, it does. It does.
I never liked Bugs Life. I saw that in theaters. I was like, this sucks.
You know what? I ain't never liked Bugs Life either.
God damn it!
All right, so I think what we're gonna do is, do you want to switch up we got other games we're gonna play?
Yeah, I think we made our point about Disney remakes and stuff.
Actually, I tell you what, let's do this real quick before we get off the Disney subject. Does the chat have anything they'd like to know from us or thoughts about things that the chat wants to know from us about, like Disney related movies and stuff, or like the new animated movies, animated but not animated. What are they saying?
So Lion King, they got into like not trouble, but like people were calling them out on their bullshit because like the live action Lion King, but like all the sets and all the animals are animated, so now they're calling it photorealistic. Like Jungle Book was also the same, but I guess they had a human actor, so they could say it was live action.
So they kind of reneged on that a little bit.
Although I mean, I would say check out Jungle Book just because you get Christopher Walken as King Louie, which is fucking awesome. Remember King Louie, the orangutan?
Oh, I remember King Louie.
Although in the movie they changed it, he's a
he was in Tailspin too, I think.
Christopher Walken?
No,
King
Louie.
The live action movie changed it where he's not an orangutan, he's a Gigantopithecus. It's a prehistoric ape that was giant.
Okay.
But it's awesome to see this giant ape singing in Christopher Walken's voice.
So I liked this question a lot. Yeah. Mike, what's your opinion on Buena Vista Home Video? No, but let's see what other questions. Mike, do you like the shorts when Goofy smokes? I don't remember the ones where Goofy smokes, but I remember the one where Donald smoked. And so
Huey, that's like a meme, right? His eyes are all red.
So what happened? It's actually one of the best cartoons. So Huey, Dewey, and Louie, for whatever reason, are like up in their fucking treehouse and they're like smoking cigars. Basically, oh no, something like that. They're doing something bad, or they're trying to smoke or something. And anyway, at the end, Donald's like, "You want to smoke?" And he takes all the cigars and he like shoves them into their mouths, and they're like, "Smoke!" And then they get like all sick and whatever, something like that. It's funny.
Yes, the new Dumbo. What do you guys think? I don't care about Dumbo. I know it's Tim Burton, but Tim Burton hasn't impressed me since Big Fish. Like, he's really done nothing that impressed me since then.
Yeah, I like the old Dumbo, but that's...
Dumbo, I don't remember.
It's all right.
Play the Gargoyles Genesis game. I'd love to watch Gargoyles again. How do you feel about the slow death of 2D animated films? Yeah, they don't do any 2D animated films anymore. Once in a blue moon.
Slow death of it. It's been dead for a long time. Like, when was the last time they even did it?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's terrible, because why can't we have 2D animation and 3D animation?
I mean, you get 2D animation when it comes to, like, direct-to-video. Like, DC, like, Warner Bros. And DC pump out so many 2D animated movies. But he's talking about theatrical releases.
And I think he's talking about Disney, too.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so...
Do you like the new Star Wars movies? I think me and you are kind of meh on them.
I hate them.
You hate them?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you hate it.
No, I hate them.
I hate the spin-offs.
I will say this, when I first saw them, I was a little bit more receptive to them because like I saw them, but you know, sometimes it takes me a little bit of time to reflect, and as I've reflected on seeing those movies, I don't like them at all. I think they are, well, let me just say this before I'm just like, I hate them. I think as Star Wars movies, they're shit, and they try to pass them off as this is episode 8, this is episode 7, 8, and 9. I think that those movies are fan fiction, and I think as fan fiction, they're okay.
Yeah.
But as Star Wars, I don't think they're Star Wars movies, and I think they're if they are real Star Wars movies, then I think they are shit.
I don't mind 7 and parts of 8.
You like the casino part with the?
No, I hate that part
with the fucking. Do you like that one character who's like?
No.
Or whatever.
I hate anything involving the Rose and Finn plot line was garbage. I don't mind them too much. At the same time, they are completely unnecessary. Like, you don't need them. I can't get into the spin-offs. Rogue One and Solo, like, there's a few cool things in there. I can't get into them.
I hated those. And Solo was a fucking flop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing that you have Disney, the biggest company in the world pretty much, and Star Wars, like the biggest thing ever? How can you make a movie with those things and have it flop? Well, it's insane.
The reason Solo flopped, and I think we mentioned this in the review, is because it's the most expensive Star Wars movie because they reshot the whole goddamn movie.
That makes sense.
They wasted so much money on it.
But you think because it's such a big production and they have all these professionals working on it that they wouldn't fuck up that bad?
I think the two guys who did it, they did that Spider-Man cartoon. They just won an Oscar and everything. The ones they fired,
right?
They're like fresh and talented. I think Disney were scared of what they were doing,
because
it was supposed to be more comical, and then they picked the safe bet, Ron Howard, to replace him. But like seeing how well the Spider-Man cartoon did, it's
you think they should have just went with it?
They should have just let these guys do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that annoyed me. I will say Rebels is the best thing they did. The Star Wars Rebels, that show is really good, and Disney did. But like, and the guy who makes those shows, he also did Clone Wars. He managed to tell like a really good story set in the prequel universe, which I thought was impossible.
Okay.
With Clone Wars, give him a fucking movie. Have him like write a movie. He's doing a good job, but they give it to all these other people. Sorry. Anyway, we went on Star Wars.
Yeah, let's not go on Star Wars.
Disney sucks. Okay.
Epcot Pizza says Rogue One made me want to kill myself.
Well, Tony dresses Aladdin. Not today. I don't have the outfit.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Disney, whatever. Now they own Fox. Which people are like mad because like they own like Alien and X-Men now. And they're like, oh, that big corporation's gonna ruin it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Fox was a big corporation. Like,
I think it's like whacked that they own like Spider-Man and like because it's like now it's like Disney's Spider-Man. How wrong is that?
Yeah, it's still Marvel, but
I mean
Disney
they own it, so it's like wow. I know they don't say Disney Spider-Man, but it is.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, but like they've owned so much, and they've gotten rid of like stuff too. Like they used to own Dimension Films, so technically Michael Myers was under the Disney umbrella for a bit. But like they owned Power Rangers for a bit, and they sold it back to the guy Saban. And now he just sold it because he couldn't do anything with it anymore.
It's too much.
Because I think people realize like they're not going to own. They might not own it forever. If it does bad enough, Disney will get rid of it.
Oh, that's a good point.
Star Wars maybe not so much. They spent like $4 billion on it.
Yeah, they're going to drive that. They've already driven it into the ground.
But like people are like, oh, they're going to ruin Alien because I'm like, but Fox ruined Alien. They're also a big corporation.
That's true.
The bigger problem is Disney buying all the people who make entertainment. Like that's a bigger problem. Making soulless versions of the franchise you like, those corporations are going to do it anyway. Anyway, that's my whole Disney rant.
All right, we are going to switch up games now. And
I don't know what we're going to play next, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, so a quick break, and then we'll come back with some sort of other entertainment for you guys. All right.